Growing up, my dad was the type of guy you'd miss in a crowd. Not because he was small or weak, but because he didn't demand attention. He had this quiet strength about him. Never loud, never dramatic. Just steady. Like a lighthouse. Always there, always doing his thing, regardless of who noticed. He wasn't big on words. I don't think I ever heard him say, "I love you," out loud. Not to me, not to my mom, not even to the damn dog. But he never missed a school recital, even if he stood in the back and left before the clapping started. He fixed every broken toy, every leaky pipe, every squeaky hinge. And when my friends stayed over and asked why my dad never spoke much, I'd shrug. That's just how he is. As a kid, I didn't appreciate it. I wanted the sitcom dad, the guy who hugged you at the door, told corny jokes, and gave life advice over ice cream. My dad? He gave me a Swiss Army knife on my 12th birthday with a simple, "Don't lose it." No speech, no card, just the knife. I lost it a week later and cried for 2 days, not because of the knife itself, but because I thought I'd let him down. When I finally told him, expecting disappointment, he just nodded and handed me a new one. Try not to lose this one. That was it. No guilt trip. No big emotional moment. Just another act of quiet forgiveness. High school was rough. I wasn't popular and I wasn't particularly talented. My grades were fine but nothing special. I spent most nights in my room gaming or drawing. My mom tried to encourage me, but my dad just let me be. He never pushed, never pressured. But every now and then, I'd find new sketchbooks left on my desk. No note, no explanation, just there. He didn't get art. I knew that. I once caught him staring at one of my drawings. A weird abstract piece I made while going through a nobody understands me phase. And he just said, "It's different," before walking off. Senior year, I got into a fight. Some guy at school called me a freak for the way I dressed and the music I listened to. I swung first and got suspended. I expected hell when I got home. My mom cried. My dad? He just asked, "Did you win?" I said yes. He nodded and went back to fixing the lawnmower. Later that night, he came into my room with a frozen bag of peas and handed it to me. "For your hand," he said. That was it. But he sat down and stayed there in silence for almost an hour. Didn't say a word. Just sat with me. College was my escape. I moved 3 states away, convinced I needed space to figure out who I was. My dad helped me pack the car. He drove the first few hours in silence, only breaking it once to ask, "You got enough cash?" When I said yes, he reached into his pocket and handed me a folded $100 bill anyway. "Keep it in your sock," he said. "Wallets get stolen." Again, no speech, no sentiment. Just protection in his own way. I didn't call home much that first year. I was busy being independent. But every Sunday morning, without fail, I'd get a text from him. Oil, tires, locked doors. That was his "I love you" every damn week. Fast forward a few years. I'm 27, living in the city, working a job that eats my soul, dating someone I'm not even sure I like. I'm burnt out, tired. I hadn't been home in almost a year. Then my apartment got broken into. Nothing major was stolen, just some electronics, but it shook me. For the first time in a long time, I felt small again. Vulnerable. I didn't know who else to call, so I called him. He didn't say much, just asked if I was okay. I said yes, and he said, "All right, I'll come down this weekend." He showed up with a toolbox and a giant duffel bag, replaced my locks, installed a camera, fixed a busted door frame. He didn't stay the night, just worked for 6 hours straight, gave me a nod, and left. Later that night, I found the duffel bag still in my closet. Inside, a flashlight, jumper cables, duct tape, a can of pepper spray, and a note. Not handwritten, typed. My dad was old school, but his hands were too calloused for pens. It said, "Always check behind you when you walk to your car. Don't open the door if you don't know who it is. If you hear something, call the cops." Not me. I'm not as fast as I used to be. "Dad," I cried. Like ugly cried. Because in all those years, all the silence, all the nods and grunts and giftless holidays, that was the loudest "I love you" I'd ever received. When he turned 60, I took a week off to visit. It was the first time in a long time we sat on the porch together. Just the two of us watching the sky go dark. I asked him if he ever regretted not talking more when I was younger. He took a sip of his beer and said, "I figured the world would do enough talking. You didn't need it from me." He wasn't wrong. Now I'm 32. I've got a kid of my own. A boy. And I catch myself doing things my dad used to do. Fixing the cabinet instead of buying a new one. Checking the locks twice at night. Leaving things on the table without explanation. I still say I love you to my son. I hug him. I give the speeches because I want him to have both the words and the acts. But deep down I know when I install a nightlight in his room while he sleeps, or when I check the tire pressure before a road trip without him asking, that's my dad, living through me. And every time someone says, "You remind me of your father," I smile, because that's the man who never said it out loud, but showed it every damn day.